The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, Chapter 13, The Magic of Oz. The next morning, Dorothy and her friends met in front of the throne room. Everyone but Dorothy was very excited to see Oz.
Congratulate me,
said the Scarecrow.
Today Oz will give me a brain.
Dorothy looked at her friends and said, I like you all as you are. A brain, a heart, and courage cannot change that.
That is kind of you to say,
said the Scarecrow.
But I would like a brain all the same.
Shall we go in?
asked the Tin Man. The lion knocked on the door of the throne room.
Come in,
called Oz. They found him sitting at a desk next to the window. He was thinking deeply.
I have come for my brain,
said the Scarecrow softly.
Oh, yes,
said Oz.
Sit down, please. First, I must place this hat upon your head. Okay? With the power vested in me, I confer a doctorate in philosophy from the University of Oz to the Scarecrow. Congratulations, Scarecrow. Here is your diploma.
Does this mean I have a brain?
asked the Scarecrow.
It does indeed,
said Oz.
In fact, your friends should call you Dr. Scarecrow from now on.
The Tin Man stepped forward.
I have come for a heart. Very well,
said Oz.
But I will have to cut a hole in your chest, and it might hurt. I'm not worried about that,
said the Tin Man.
I can bear any amount of pain for a heart.
Oz took a pair of tin shears from his desk and cut a square hole in the Tin Man's chest. He put a small heart-shaped clock inside the Tin Man.
There,
said Oz.
You have a heart that any regular man would be proud of. Thank you,
replied the Tin Man proudly. The lion then walked forward and said,
I have come for my courage.
Here you are,
said Oz. He handed a small green bottle to the lion.
What is it?
asked the lion.
Well, if it were inside you, it would be called courage. Drink it,
said Oz.
How do you feel?
asked Oz after the lion had drunk all the liquid in the bottle.
Full of courage,
roared the lion. The Scarecrow, the Tin Man, and the lion walked out of Oz's throne room proudly. Dorothy remained behind and asked, Have you found a way for me to return to Kansas?
No,
said Oz sadly.
It was easy to make the Scarecrow, Tin Man, and Lion happy because they believed I could do anything. But I will need a lot more than my imagination to help you get back to Kansas.
Dorothy stayed with her happy friends while she waited for Oz to think of a plan. After 4 days, Oz came to her and said,
There might be a way.
To return to Kansas? Dorothy asked eagerly.
Yes,
said Oz.
The one major problem for us is getting across the Great Desert. Once we cross the desert, finding Kansas should be easy. And I think I know how we can cross the desert.
How? asked Dorothy.
In a hot air balloon,
answered Oz. But how will you make it fly? asked Dorothy.
Well, there are 2 ways to make a balloon fly,
answered Oz.
With gas or hot air. There isn't any gas in Oz, so we will use hot air.
We? asked Dorothy.
Yes, of course,
said Oz.
I can't let you go alone. But it will take me at least a week to get everything ready. We are going to need a large balloon made of silk and a giant basket to ride in. We'll also need a bunch of ropes to tie the balloon to the basket.
Can I help? asked Dorothy.
If you can sew, you can help to make the balloon,
answered Oz. The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, Chapter 14, Balloon Ride. When the hot air balloon was ready, Oz sent word to the people of the Emerald City. Everyone gathered to see Oz and Dorothy depart. Oz climbed into the basket and shouted to the crowd,
I'm off to see a brother wizard. While I'm gone, the Scarecrow will be your ruler. Obey him as you would obey me.
Soon the balloon was tugging at the ropes.
Come, Dorothy,
Shouted the wizard.
before the balloon flies away.
Wait! I can't find Toto! Answered Dorothy. She spotted Toto and picked him up. You're a very naughty dog, she said. Oz reached out his hands to help Dorothy into the balloon when suddenly a gust of wind snapped the ropes. The balloon quickly rose into the air without her. Come back! She screamed.
I can't, my dear.
Called Oz from the basket.
Goodbye!
The balloon rose higher and higher in the sky until it vanished behind the clouds. That was the last anyone saw of the wonderful Wizard of Oz. Dorothy dropped to the ground and cried. I'll never go home! Never! She moaned. The next day, Dorothy and her friends gathered in the throne room. The Scarecrow was sitting on the throne, and the others stood respectfully in front of him.
We are not unlucky,
Said the Scarecrow.
for this palace and the Emerald City belong to us. Now, if only we could convince Dorothy to live here with us.
But I don't want to live here, cried Dorothy. I want to go home. I want to see Aunt Em and Uncle Henry,
What can we do?
asked the Tin Man. The Scarecrow gave it careful thought and said,
Call the winged monkeys and ask them to carry you over the desert.
I never thought of that, shouted Dorothy joyfully, and she ran to get the golden hat. When Dorothy returned wearing the hat, she spread her arms, and she said the magic words. By my command! Soon the Monkey King arrived and said,
What do you command?
I want you to fly me back to Kansas, said Dorothy.
We cannot.
Said the king.
Our ability to fly is limited to Oz. Another command we will gladly obey, but we cannot fly across the great desert.
The king bowed and flew away. Dorothy was ready to cry again.
Don't cry.
Said the kind-hearted Tin Man.
No, don't cry.
Said the Scarecrow.
Let us ask the soldier for advice.
They asked the soldier, and he said,
Galinda's castle is on the edge of the desert. She might know a way across.
Who is Galinda?
asked the Scarecrow.
She is the good witch of the south.
Replied the soldier. How can we get to her castle? Asked Dorothy hopefully.
It is both easy and hard.
Answered the soldier.
The road is straight south, but there are many dangers.
Dorothy and her friends thanked the soldier for his advice.
The answer is simple.
Said the Scarecrow.
Yes, it is.
Said the Lion.
We'll leave tomorrow.
Said the Tin Man.
I think that's best.
Said the Scarecrow. Are you all coming with me? Asked Dorothy, surprised.
Of course.
Said the Lion.
None of us would have met Oz if it weren't for you.
Early the next morning, the friends gathered at the city gate. The gatekeeper removed their glasses and said to the Scarecrow,
You must return to us as soon as you can because you are our ruler now.
I will.
Said the Scarecrow.
But first I must help Dorothy get home.
Dorothy was glad to be on her way home. The others were happy too, and they talked about how great the Wizard of Oz had been. Dorothy knew that Oz wasn't a great wizard. He hadn't returned her to Kansas, but he had tried, so she forgave him.